Coming to you live from the firstandmonday.com studios in Thunder Bay, Ontario, this is the fam.com podcast, episode number 24. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. What is up? I am Bruce Harris, and this is the firstandmonday.com podcast, the one show dedicated to the one website dedicated to all things manly. We are your one-stop shop. We are also your alternative to doing work. If you're checking out the website right now, you're probably at work. Try to avoid working too hard today, all right? Hang back, chill with us, and we'll get you through the day. We've got a great show coming up for you once again. We have a musical act called Radial Core, hailing from Omaha, Nebraska. We're going to play some of their music, some good industrial 9 Inch Nails type tracks. If you're into that, we'll also talk some Nebraska football for all you Husker fans. So look for that in just a couple of minutes. But when I think of the number 24, podcast number 24, no real significant players come to mind that are worthy of dedicating the podcast to that wear the number 24. You know, of course, there's Ken Griffey Jr., but he plays baseball, so that doesn't really count as a sport in my book. I'm going to throw it a different direction this week. Number 24. Of course, first thing that comes to mind is the greatest television series in the history of great television series. Yes, we all know the show 24. Of course we do. Even those of us that don't live in India know about the great Indian show. Not American Indian, but India, like curry Indians. The great show from India called 24. Take a listen.
अगले 24 घंटे के अंदर किसी असैसिन की गोली पर आदित्य सिंघानिया का नाम लिखा होगा।
एक साजिश जिसका निशाना है देश का भविष्य।
तुम इस जनरेशन की यूथ के आइकॉन हो, इंडियाज़ न्यू होप।
जिसे रोकने के लिए एंटी टेररिस्ट यूनिट के चीफ जय सिंह राठौर के पास हैं सिर्फ 24 घंटे।
असैसिन थाईलैंड से आ रहा है। एंटी टेररिस्ट मामूली शूटर नहीं है।
हर सेकंड बढ़ रही हैं मुश्किलें।
24.
हर मिनट नजदीक आ रहा है खतरा।
एटीओ में कोई है जो आदित्य सिंघानिया के हमले
Indian with a gun.
घंटे उभर रहे हैं सवाल।
आदित्य सिंघानिया की जान को खतरा आज है, अभी।
इस अक्टूबर
मेरी फैमिली कहाँ है?
कलर्स लेकर आ रहा है
This October.
जय सिंह राठौर की जिंदगी के वो 24 घंटे 24 एपिसोड्स में।
Jabis is 24. Boom!
Safari Stock presents 24. It's October.
Yes, sir. Anil Kapoor, star of India's 24. Fantastic show. So we're going to dedicate this week's podcast to you, Anil Kapoor, and your show, 24. Can't wait to see how this season ends. Oh, I think there's an American version with Donald Sutherland's kid in it. His name is Kiefer Sutherland. Little known fact is that he's actually named after Tom Kiefer, which is the lead singer for the band Cinderella. Not a lot of people know that, but it's true. Now, if you want to contact me, my email is always open. In fact, I've been getting some responses from the listeners. I always appreciate the feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. It's thebruceharris@gmail.com. Let's read a couple of emails I've gotten from listeners. This one is from Danny919. I think he's in North Carolina. And he writes, Bruce, I enjoy the podcast. I just listened to episode number 23. I have to agree with you that Devin Hester is the greatest player to ever wear that jersey number, even better than Michael Jordan. And I really enjoyed your interview with RBAU05. That dude cracks me up. Keep up the good work. All right, Danny, thanks for the kind words. See, here's another one from the Real Madrid fan 09. And he writes, "Hi, Bruce. Do you even lift, bro?" That's all it says. I'm not even sure what that means. And let's see this. Oh, this one might be good. This is actually from a female listener. Didn't know we had any of those. Her name is Petra. Can't pronounce the last name. Something Eastern European. Petra writes, "Sexy and lonely married women want your body." Well, that's flattering. Oh, wait a minute. No, all right, that's just spam. Let's see. Here's one from Tristan Tristan from First of Monday. He's my boss, actually. It says, "Hey, Bruce, do you need to stop fucking around?" That one's actually not fan mail. But anyway, if you want to contact me, it's thebruceharris@gmail. You can follow me on Twitter @thebruceharris. And likewise with the website, First of Monday @gmail or @First of Monday on the Twittersphere. So hit us up. If you want to be on the show, that's all you got to do. Drop me a line and we'll get you on the air. You'll be a local celebrity in your hometown. I promise. And that promise goes no matter where your hometown happens to be, even if it's in a different country, because fam has been blowing up, bitches. We're going global. Our reach is around the world, not just in America. Matter of fact, we've got a lot of listeners, well, at least one, to the podcast from Guatemala. JTefa1 holding it down in Guatemala. Not even sure how he gets internet down there. He must have one of those big-ass old school satellite dishes to take up your whole backyard, some kind of C-band setup or something. But anyway, appreciate the support from Guatemala and all the Guats down there. I mean, of course, they do have the best soccer team in all of Central America. That's not even up for debate. But what is debatable is just where the hell the New York Knicks are as a franchise. Where are they going? Who knows? Well, I think we got somebody that might know. This is pretty cool. We've got a guest right now on the fam.com hotline. I mean, as much as we talk about sports on FAM and on this podcast as well, we've never actually had a guest that's a member of a organization's front office, but we do right now. So it's pretty cool. This guy was actually just a fan like all of us, and he, from what he's telling us, he won a promotion to actually be an assistant in the Knicks front office for the rest of the year. How cool is that? So let's go right to the fam.com hotline and welcome to the show, Andre Leibowitz. Andre, how are you?
Yeah, Bruce, thanks for having me. Really excited. First deadline coming up, and I'll tell you, with the Knicks entering the final stretch of the season, this is the deepest Knicks team I've seen in recent memory.
Okay, I didn't realize how deep they were. Now, for the listeners, we're taping this interview prior to the trade deadline. So, Andre, tell me, being in the front office, what kind of moves are you guys with the Knicks going to be making at the last minute here?
Yeah, I don't think they'll make any major moves. Maybe they'll add like a Duncan or Dwight Howard.
Okay.
Maybe if they could move some minor pieces for them, like move Shumpert for him. We already had a Kmart. He's on the comeback trail. He's going to be awesome down the stretch. Can't touch Tyson Chandler, but if you could add a minor piece for him, like a Kevin Durant, that'd be a great trade. Maybe if you have to package, J.R. Smith with him, or maybe J.R. Smith's brother, Chris Smith.
Wow, I mean, calling Kevin Durant or Dwight Howard a small piece.
I know they're tall guys, but it'd be a minor addition. Look at how deep we are. We got Melo, Amari, Raymond Felton. He's my boy. Tyson Chandler, Kenyon Martin. Who can brighten the roster?
Oh, okay. Well, I won't debate you on that. Obviously, you have more insight being in the Knicks front office than I certainly do. So I'll have to take your word on that. How's it looking for the playoff seeding currently?
That's a little bit of a gray area because they're 13 games behind Toronto. They sit at number 3 overall, first in the division. They are 9.5 games behind Brooklyn for the playoff spot. So, it could be better. Well, I'll tell you, they're ready to make a push. Uh, coming off a big winning streak, and I think they're coming. They're gonna just wipe the board with people down the stretch.
All right, very good. Now, I've never actually been to a Knicks game. I'm sure it's awesome because where do they play? The Barclay Center? That's the Mecca, right?
Well, man, they be playing at the Garden.
I know, of course. But the Barclay Center, that's got to be better than the Garden because it's newer. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, whatever you're smoking, you can pass that over here.
Talk about seeing a game at the Garden. What's that like? What's the experience like?
Well, they renovated it, and let me tell you, it is the best arena in the world already. They throw $1 billion into it, and I'll tell you, man, the Chase Bridges, they're better than the monster seats at Fenway.
Okay, not sure what that means. Let's talk about some Knicks of the past. Who are some of your all-time favorite Knick players?
My all-time favorite Knick player, I have to say, was Jason Kidd.
Okay. All right. What about Anthony Mason? I love that guy.
He was all right. I have to say my favorite parent Knick is J.R. Smith. He comes in, nobody expects him to do anything. When it's the sixth-man award, he should have been an all-star. And you know what? Now he's just playing for his next big contract. Gotta love the guy.
He's definitely got game. He just needs to let it loose. Dude seems afraid to shoot, a bit hesitant.
Yeah, well, I think that has a lot to do with having so many stars on the team, like Melo or Mahoney, Tyson Chandler. I'll tell you, Chandler's got to be better with staying healthy. He's only played 37 games so far. You look at Melo, that's a really good player. He's played 58 games. You know how many times he's dropped 40 this season?
No.
Not everybody can do that. Melo walks into a game and says, you know what, I'm going to score 40 today.
Okay. I guess LeBron just went off with a big game. Could you envision?
I think they have them. I wouldn't mind moving Amari, Raymond Felton, and Tyson Chandler if they could pull LeBron. But I don't think they're going to do that. I do know he's going to come to New York when he's a free agent. Nobody's going to be able to turn down that money.
Well, I don't know if New York's a big enough market for him. I mean, he's such a star.
Man, New York's the number one market. I just don't think he could play under pressure.
Okay. How's the coaching seat? Is it safe?
I think so. Mike Woodson's done a great job. Learned a lot of things in Indiana. And then the assistant coaches, nothing to brag about, but they're good. Herb Williams, I think he's related to Herb Brooks, the hockey guy. They got Darryl Walker and Jim Todd. They're all good.
Okay. Again, Andre Leibowitz, member of the Knicks front office, joining us on the Fam.com podcast. How's the salary cap situation going into next season, Andre?
You got a few big contracts up, so we'll see what we're going to do. Maybe in the off season we can add some supporting cast like Chris Paul, Tyreek Evans, maybe Chandler Parsons. Anthony Davis would be a decent piece.